Hey guys, Rob Potter here from Photography Hotspots. Thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to be having a look at all the locations that were uploaded to Photography Hotspots back in April 2015. In total, there were 14 that I've got to go through with you guys. And before we get into them, I'd just like to thank every single person who contributed a photography location in April. I really appreciate it. And I know that the people that come to the website and then use your photography hotspots as a reference to then go out and photograph them themselves, really appreciate it as well. So again, we have 14 to go through. I'll try to keep it pretty quick, but if you see a location that you want to get a bit more information out of, you could maybe take a note of the URL. So maybe just pause the video when you find one that you like, pop in the URL, or simply remember what it's called, go to the search box on our website, type it in, hit search, and that'll bring it up for you there. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Our very first one is Palm Cove in Queensland, and this was shared by Saharati Photography. Now, I met him the other day on a photo walk, which was really cool. Came up to Mount Tomah, so it was really, really nice to meet him. And going through the photos here from Palm Cove, it looks absolutely stunning. So if you're up that way in Queensland, you can see we've got a map here. If you're ever up that way around Palm Cove, this is certainly going to be something you want to check out. Beautiful rocks. Like that just looks like Hawaii, if you ask me. And then you've got a beautiful long jetty too to take some photos of as well. As you can see, he's gone there pretty much middle of the day, but he says sunrise, midday and sunset are great and pretty much good for any type of photography. And he's given it an 8 out of 10. So thank you so much for sharing your photography location. I think you might have a few. I did try to put these in date order, but they've sort of jumbled up a little bit. So we'll continue on. This one is Dove Lake. This was added by myself. This is amazing photography location, absolutely stunning. I highly recommend anybody, if you can, make a trip down to Tasmania, check out Cradle Mountain and in particular Dove Lake. I'm going back there in a couple of weeks and I cannot wait. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I'll skip over it pretty quickly because I do have a full video review on it up there now, which goes for about 11 minutes where I talk all about that photography location, and you should definitely check that one out. The next one is North Surfers Paradise. Now, this was shared by Indigo Photography, and I really appreciate him uploading his hotspot. There was a little bit of an issue when uploading it, but a bit of email correspondence, and we finally got there, which was fantastic. And he's given this location 8 out of 10, and I love this photo. I love the stars. I love the. He talks about in his explanation here about trying to capture like through a long exposure, and I think he absolutely nailed it. So absolutely beautiful. Surfers Paradise is a fantastic place, and it's awesome to have another one from Queensland because we do lack a little bit from Queensland. So great to see more locations being shared from Queensland. That's 2 so far already, which is fantastic. Saharati Photography again. This one's pretty cool. This is Lady Bay Beach, and he mentions that this is down near Hornby Lighthouse. So a bit of a waterfall down near Hornby Lighthouse. Really cool. Back in April, I don't know if you, depending on when you're watching this video, you may remember we had some ridiculous amount of wet weather, and so you're actually going to see quite a lot of waterfalls being shared on the website this month in this video, because that was certainly the order of the month because all the waterfalls were flowing really well with water. So Lady Bay Beach, 6.5 out of 10, so maybe not great, but maybe you could tack that on to checking out Hornby Bay Lighthouse as well. St. Joseph Banks Park, and this was shared by Craig Everson. So thank you, Craig, for sharing this. I got to meet him the other day as well. It's great getting to meet people that are contributors to hotspots. It's really, really cool. And as you can see, another one that's been taken during the middle of the day. But again, a really, really cool place. And this is down in Botany. So Craig's given an 8 out of 10, basically says any time is a great time to go and photograph this location. Gives plenty of information about it here, which is really, really cool. As you can see, there's a bit of a playground, so take the kids down there while you walk around with the camera. And there's also a map there as well. So very cool. Thank you, Craig. The next one is Main Beach, so another one from Queensland, which is fantastic. Really loving that. This one by somebody else. So Graeme Andrew, thank you, Graeme, for sharing Main Beach, Gold Coast, Queensland. Really appreciate that. And he's shared the one photo, which looks pretty cool. Looks like it's maybe a bit of a HDR image. You can see we've got some sort of a structure here, some beautiful rocks. So that looks quite cool. He says basically sunrise at any time. And he's given it an 8 out of 10, and you can see there's a bit of a map there of it. And he goes in to mention some really good information here, which is again greatly appreciated when people share so much information about the locations, because again it just helps people that want to go there and explore it be better prepared to photograph it. So I really appreciate Graeme taking the time out, or everybody taking the time out to share some great information. The next one, Coledale North Rock Platform. This was shared by Andrew Kerr. So g'day Andrew, thank you so much for sharing this. Look at this rock formation. How cool does that look? And look at the colour in the sky. Wow. So Coledale, I don't think I've been down there yet, but after seeing these photos from Andrew, I certainly think I'll have to. Love this. Apparently this is, I think he said a boat ramp or something like that. But then, yeah, it has these sort of concrete pillars which are sort of going away. So very, very cool. And again, a great map and great information. So awesome location, Andrew. And Andrew's given an 8 out of 10. So if you're around Coledale, maybe go and check it out. And fingers crossed you get a sky looking that good. All right, so Moores Creek Falls, again mentioning before about the amount of rain we had in April and some waterfalls. Now this is East Lindfield. Now you're going to see a series of waterfalls that are sort of in suburbia. You know, when we think about sort of waterfalls, we don't often think that they might be just around the corner from our suburban style house, but they certainly can be. So East Lindfield. Paul H, he's back and he shares a couple. He's given this a 10 out of 10, so it doesn't get much better than that. He absolutely loved it. And as you can see, stunning waterfall. But it is, again, mentioned about the wet weather in Sydney. And he goes to a lot of effort to put in lots of information. And this one actually has, I remember this one now, because this one actually does have 3 different waterfalls. So very, very cool. You could pretty much make that a day. And that's, I believe, why he loved it so much. And Paul, thank you so much for going through the effort, mate, for not only sharing it, you're going to share a few in this month, but again, also contributing such great information. So Lovers Jump Creek Waterfall. I'd probably, if you're a couple, I probably would not recommend jumping into that. Looks a bit shallow and a little bit green, but another great photo. So again, Turramurra. So we're sort of on the northern beaches of Sydney, I believe, and that's this one was shared by James Vodicka. So hopefully I get your last name right there, James. It's pretty cool if that is. But 7 out of 10 he's given it, so pretty good. He enjoyed it, and we've got a photo. We've got a map. Again, you can see pretty much smack bang in the middle of suburbia. Probably a little bit away from the northern beaches, but not too far. And again, he's given some great information about what he believes you should take down, which is always awesome. And he's given it a 7 out of 10. So if you're out that way, it's been raining a little bit, this might be a location that you want to check out. Another waterfall, fantastic. St. John's Falls, shared by none other than Paul H. He's given this one a 9 out of 10, so not as good as the last one, but not as not too far off either. And absolutely stunning photos here. Some nice long exposures. And again, he's gone to such great depth with his information to help you guys out, go and photograph it. And again, in suburbia, look at that. So very, very cool. St. John's Falls, check that one out. Next up, we have Narrabeen Lagoon Trail. And this one was shared by unknown. So not sure who shared this, but to whoever you are, anonymous, thank you so much. You've gone to a fair bit of information there, which is really, really cool. And yeah, I wish I could give you a bit of a shout out, but that's okay. You don't have to put your name down there. But 7 out of 10. And again, we do appreciate that. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, so what have we got? 7 out of 10, afternoon and sunset location. So if you're around Narrabeen, you can see if you're around Narrabeen, you've actually got quite a few different locations you can go and check out this month, which is pretty cool. Now, Mount Tomah Botanical Gardens. This is also known as the Blue Mountains Botanic Gardens. And this is a photography location that I've had sort of kept away for a little while. I've been meaning to share it and finally got around to it. We actually just recently did a photo walk here, which was phenomenal. So you can go and check out the photowalkguys.com.au to see more of the photo walks that I run. But this is a beautiful photography location if you're out and about in the Blue Mountains. Certainly recommend checking this out. The gardens are amazing. I think there are about 8 different types of gardens, all sorts of different things you could check out. So highly recommend getting up there and checking that out. You will love it. And I certainly had a great time walking around. And then again, going back on the weekend and checking it out as well for a photo walk, which was very, very cool. Okay, so National Falls. Another waterfall shared by Paul H, 8.5 out of 10. So we're going a little bit backwards with our rating. We probably should have saved the best for last. But again, thank you so much, Paul, for sharing this. And again, great information. Looks like another stunning photography location. I know that there was one that he mentioned in his notes that was a little bit hard to get to. So with any of these things, or with any photography locations that you do see, please be careful when going and visiting them. But again, you can see this one is maybe not, I probably wouldn't call that suburbia. That's probably one that certainly isn't suburbia, but not too far away. You can see Cronulla there and Campbelltown. So a bit of a, maybe a short trip for those people that are in that area and wanting to photograph maybe a waterfall they hadn't captured yet. So very cool. Thank you, Paul. All right. Boonerah, hopefully I got that right. Boonerah Point Reserve, Lake Illawarra. And this was shared by Kaz. So thank you, Kaz, for sharing this. Love the rays coming through there and maybe the people fishing or maybe even other photographers capturing that. Looks like a beautiful old jetty. So very cool. And Kaz has given this a 7 out of 10. And again, you can see those rays. Pretty cool making it black and white too. I think sometimes we get, I know I personally get so caught up in colour, but every now and again it is great to see it in color, in black and white, and then you got sepia tone, so that's even cool as well. So very, very cool. This one again down in Lake Illawarra. So check that out if you're down that way. Beautiful old jetties. We love beautiful old wooden jetties. So that's very, very cool. Looks like it might be 2 different ones. But yeah, check that out if you're in that area. And that is the last one. So thank you, Kaz, for that. Now, if you would like to, maybe you didn't see a photography location that was in your area, or maybe it wasn't one that you're traveling to, you can always go to our search page, which you can see is our second button on our website, and that will bring up our map of Australia, where we have over now, I can proudly say we now have over 500 photography locations, which is phenomenal. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm blown away by our fantastic community of photographers who are willing to share their photography locations, because there are unfortunately people that do like to keep them to themselves. But I think it's great to promote and explore and share these great photography locations. So if there is one in if you're somewhere in Australia and wanting to find a location near you to go and photograph, you can easily come to the map and then just zoom in and find a location that is something you might want to photograph. Or likewise, if you've been to a photography location and want to share it, whether it's been shared before or not, you can come to our share page and fill out the information there. And yeah, you'll probably be featured in the next month's video review. So guys, thank you so much for that. I really hope that helps you, again, get out and explore this beautiful country of ours. And until next time, guys, happy snapping, all the best. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.
Visit photographyhotspots.com.au and share your favourite photography locations today.